So we're here with Belinda to work on 3 simple little things I do that I think really add something to the horse, builds a little relationship, gets them ready for the next phase of their life when we get on their back. This is part of the pre-start series where we do things that lead to better riding. This could have some benefit for older horses, but it's really helpful with the younger ones who haven't been exposed at all to some of the things that we'll be doing here. One thing is, I guess the whole title of this might be the Cradle, the Drape, and the Drop. And I'll explain that. I like to cradle their head and teach them to give just as you would if you were bending them, but just bend them around like this. I mean, there's nothing to that, but they resist that at first. She wasn't sure about that initially. You do that to both sides. And this side I haven't done as much, so it's probably a good, she sees a baby carriage coming. That's a good thing, isn't it? So that's a little bit of a challenge. Will she come with me, or will the outside influence her too much? So she's a little stiffer, but see, you put her in a bend, you cradle her face. She's very aware of that baby carriage rattling along. So that's good for her. Bend her around there. She likes this position because she can see the damn baby carriage better. So that does so many different things. Let's suppose your goal is someday to put a bridle on them, or just to put a halter on them. When you catch them and you don't have headgear on, they do this all too often. Well, what if instead they did this? And then you're there and they're with you. And if they were to pull away, at least their back end's going to move away from you, and you may actually have a fighting chance to maintain control. So that's the cradle. That's one component. The other is absolutely simple and mindless, but it has a lot to do with getting them used to ride. It depends a little on your height. I mean, if this was a 15 one-hand yearling warm blood, and I was a 5'2" lady, it probably wouldn't work. But with these littler things, I just drape myself over them. I just kind of hang over their back and go boneless. And I put some weight on them, actually. And I got a leg on each side. And I've got a back there, and I'm back here. And there's no stress. First time I did that with her, she would have bucked me off if I had been on her back. And I just, sort of didn't go away, and it all worked out. Now you just hang. And it's kind of restful for you too. You just sort of hang there. Now, if you got one that wants to be stupid and knock you over, probably this isn't the thing to do. But if they're ready, if they're willing to stick with you, really a nice little thing to do. And reach back there, places you might get your foot if you wanted to or had to. Reach up there to their shoulder. She sees the baby again. I wonder if she'll be a kid's horse. She seems to want to kill babies. So, I'm gonna do the final thing, which I have not done at all. I'm trying to figure out what my best angle might be. This is best done if you already have the horse willing to cradle a little bit, but it's nice to have a horse that will drop their head when you put pressure on them. Now, you'll see, folks, and I have no problem with this, bringing them down with the halter. I will certainly get to doing that, but initially I start right up here around their poll and I span their neck. Now, she's never had this done at all, so I'm just gonna push down, and very likely she'll push up, if anything. She moved, okay, that was a move. I want a response of some sort. Push down, there, wow, that's pretty good. This one's a thinker. Put my hand up there, just putting a little down pressure on her. But as soon as she gives me a gesture down, I'm gonna stop. And now she's thinking, maybe I don't want to do that. There. And as soon as she does that, I take my hand away. And if I put it back with just a pet her. See, and what's really sort of pleasing with this little horse is she's keeping her head down. And I really appreciate that. So I'm gonna push down. Yeah. Now, don't hang your head out over there, because if they sling their head up, you better have your dentist on speed dial. So you want to keep yourself safe, and that's why having them bent just a little bit towards you is good. I'm going to put a little down pressure. There, she gives a little, and give me a little more. There. You don't have to, there you go. There you go. Now, once you get down this far, the degree of difficulty goes up. There. I could have been greedy there, but she was giving me something. And it's kind of like this. If you save pennies long enough, you become a millionaire. And I don't need her to give me dollars. If she just wants to give me a penny, I'll take a penny and ask for another penny. I need my penny though. There you go. So don't turn it into a struggle. And I won't lie to you, it doesn't hurt if you got a little size to your hand and a little strength to your grip. But I'm really not using much of either of those things. Now she's a little restless because she feels very vulnerable when she gets the whole way down. And she may not go the whole way down, but I'd love to have her sniff my boot. I'd love to have her sniff my boot. There. Can you put your head down? You gonna go down any further today? Now, I'm not too locked into any objective. And probably that's as far as she's comfortable going. And right now, comfortable is important. See what she can do. There we go. And so she gnawed on my jeans. I don't generally encourage that, but I was sort of sending her there. Last thing I'm going to do is say, don't do that and kick her in the chin or something, because I asked her to go down there. So that's the deal. And then very quickly you'll get to where when you need to do something and need their head in a position, you can just put a little pressure on. And see, sometimes you have to start it all over again. But pretty quickly, they get back into that rotation. So she's got her head up. And it's funny, the first step down is the most challenging for this one. So over time, you'll get to where when you put your hand there, they just drop. And that's the beginning of that. And that's plenty enough for today. Give that some thought. It's a good button to have on your horse. Let me know how it goes. See you next time.